You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources doing another draft with you here on MTGOacademy.com. And hello, the cube is back. Fantastic. Yeah, M15 was sweet, but I think it's about time we got back into a little cube in here. And let's see what we've got out of this pack. God, this pack doesn't seem good. They've made some changes to the cube, and I'm not sure exactly what to expect yet. But I got to say, this pack is pretty unexciting. I mean, there's some decent spells here, but nothing that just screams first pick to me. Electrolyze. Attrition's actually pretty underrated, I think. I think it does a lot of work. We could probably just get it back, though. People just don't seem to respect it. I might just take Sphere of the Suns here. This pack just really, there just has no direction that I want to go here in a strong way. So I'm going to take Sphere and kind of just try to stay open a little and see what we can pick up now. Okay. Cryptic Command. I like that one a lot. Hymn to Turok's great too. But this is the kind of signal I want, is something that just says, go here. And Cryptic Command, I will go there with you forever. I love you so much, Cryptic Command. You mean so much. Okay, I'll stop. But Cryptic's the most powerful spell in that pack pretty easily, I think. It can be a little interesting just in the sense that it's triple blue. You know, they did make it difficult to cast, but they made it worth it. Ooh, another good pack. Wow, that first pack was pretty boring compared to these ones. I'm leaning towards Garruk Relentless, but there's other great cards in this pack too. Soul of Ravnica is one, obviously, I haven't tried yet in the cube since it's relatively new. My gut says it's not amazing, but in decks that run cards like this, sometimes you have a ton of mana and a ton of different colored permanents lying around, and maybe that's draw 3 or even draw 4. In which case it becomes long game unbeatable. Hero of Bladehold is one of the best 4-drops ever for as far as creatures go. It just comes down and says, you must answer this. If you don't, you die in a couple of turns. And that's really powerful. I think I'm going to go for Garruk Relentless here, though. Ooh, Exhum's in this pack too. Because I think Garruk Relentless is really powerful as well, and one of the better planeswalkers for the cube or otherwise. So I'm going to take it and see where we go from here. All right, some good stuff. Hey, Time Warp. I love that card. Seagate Oracle, Spell Pierce, Time Warp, Shivan Reef, Wood Elves. Pardon me. I'm going to go for Wood Elves, I think. Yeah, let's go for Wood Elves. Let's make us some mana here. I like Wood Elves quite a bit. I like cards that can protect planeswalkers but give you incidental value, like Wall of Blossoms. Augur of Bolas fits that as well, though it can be harder to actually hit because, remember, it has to be an instant or sorcery, so sometimes you whiff a little too often. Like, I think Wall of Blossoms is probably just better. Just peel a card. Maybe you need a land, whatever. Fauna Shaman is certainly worth looking at here, and Flooded Grove seems to be in the discussion considering that we've got a Cryptic Command, but I'm just going to take the wall. Let's just go for value here in the early stages. Oh, yes. I know it doesn't look like a Man of War, but that is a Man of War, and I'm taking it. Okay, so blue-green. I could live with this. They had to have put the Ice Dad in this set, right? In the new cube. Maybe I can get lucky and get one of those. Want to note here that I've jumped into a Swiss queue here for this cube. I tend to play, well, you guys know me, for the regular drafts, I always play 8/4s for any, normal buy-in type draft. But for Phantom stuff, I'm willing to branch out a bit because, especially for cube, because the reason I play the cubes isn't to grind tickets or packs or whatever. It's to play cube. That's what I want to do. I want to play as much cube as I can when I'm playing it. And so I'll switch back and forth. Sometimes I'll play in a single limb, and sometimes I'll play in a Swiss, and I'll kind of go back and forth based on what's available. And it turns out they only needed 2 more people in this, and the single limb had a longer list. So I was like, sure, Swiss it is. So I like Dismiss. I like Obstinate Baloth actually a lot. And Looter Ilkor I like a lot too. Nevinyrral's Disc is pretty good. I'm actually going to take this Baloth. The Baloth's interesting because it's a card I generally consider a sideboard card, but it feels like it comes in way too many matchups and Every time I cast it, I'm like, man, this card's just good. It's just a good card. Oh, hello. Because one Garrick is never enough. Get in there, buddy. Remember you? Remember old Garrick? Play it, untap some lambs, overrun the next turn. Oh, yeah. Love that guy. All right, so here's a little bit more of a breaking point for us, by the way, as predicted. Attrition came back. So if we want to splash red, Is It Charm would probably go in this deck okay. If we want to splash white, Court Hussar would probably go in here. And if we wanted to splash black, we could play Phyrexian Rager. We could also take the most powerful spell, which is Attrition. I guess I'll just hedge the most and take the Is It Charm here. All right, what do we have here? Well, I could take a Juicy Apprentice or even a Naturalized, but I think I actually want Crumbling Necropolis. It gives us blue and red and maybe even black if we go really crazy with it. I'll take a Necro here. I mean, the thing is we're blue-green so far, but we can actually branch out into multiple different colors here depending on what we pick up. You know, Wood Elves can actually be fixing if you get a shock land or a dual land. Sewer of the Suns is obviously good fixing there. All right, well, it looks like the gods want us to try out a Soul of Ravnica, so maybe we will. My gut says it's not that great. You know, we're not talking about Titan level of power here. Much, much less than that. Like, for example, I'm very happy to play a Frost Titan so that I can cast it or even get it back from the graveyard or whatever, you know, reanimate it. But Soul of Ravnica as a reanimation target, meh. You know, I like the fact that it has some utility, but 7 mana in the cube is just absurd. You can just do so much stuff with that. Oh, I'm playing Time Warp. I think that Spell Pierce is probably a better pick, but I do not care. I love Time Warp. I love the artwork. Look at that card. So cool. And it's sweet with Planeswalkers too. Ah, how good do we run? We got Flooded Grove back. We can actually cast our spells now. Huzzah. Neither of these really matter. Get rid of that one. Jeez. Last pick dismiss? Last pick. I'm in. Yeah. Control Magic. What else? Worn Power Stone. Gideon. Original Gideon. Very, very good Gideon. Cloudfin Raptor. That's new. That's pretty sweet. What else we got? Gifts, yeah. Jar, okay. Tarn, yeah. And we're taking the control magic here, but pretty good pack. All right, what have we? Phyrexian Metamorph, I love that one. Servitude, all right, noted. An Explore and a Farseek. Interesting. So I think for me it comes down to something along the lines of like Metamorph or one of these two ramp spells. And I think we actually want the ramp spells. We've got a lot of 4s, and going from 2 to 4 is going to be a pretty big deal for us. So the question is, do we want Explore or Farseek? And I think I just want Explore. Like, I think it just has such higher upside. Thirst for Knowledge. Draw 3 cards and discard unless you discard an artifact. We're a little light on artifacts with just 1 so far. So I'm just going to take the Predator. It's on color for us anyway. And it's also just a really good card. Maybe a little better in a powered cube where you're hitting mana sources fairly consistently with it. But still, this is cube. I mean, just take a snapshot of your next cube game, and it doesn't matter what deck you're playing with or against, you're going to see artifacts and enchantments on the board. I mean, the mono red deck, the 2 of the very, very, very best cards out of mono red are an artifact and an enchantment. Like every single deck plays them, you know? So, I mean, ours, you know, we've already got this thing. So yeah, Trigon Predator, usually quite good. And it's just so solid too. Big fan. Okay. What do we got? A Mana Leak. A Gaia's Cradle. We got 6 creatures right now. That could be a thing. Vengevine I don't like very much. and an Indrik Stomp Howler, which I like a lot. Far and Away is good too, but I don't know that we really want to dip into black, and we don't want to play one in a black or one in a blue for a bounce spell. My gut says the most powerful option here is Mana Leak, and I'm going to take it. At least for this deck. All right, this could be a problem, but we're not going to take it. We're going to take Deep Analysis, as we do need some card draw here, I think, right? Do we have any? Well, we've got this. I guess this sort of is card draw. I mean, sort of. I'm not going to count this as card draw, I'll tell you that. By the way, this has gone well. Look at this. We have one unplayable right now. This pack not so great. I'm just going to take a Teferi here, which is good. Teferi's really good in certain matchups. Generally speaking, Teferi's just good. You know, you can flash it in combat and block or whatever, and you know, get creature-based decks like that. And then, of course, in the control mirrors, Teferi's a big problem for the opponent, as they can't counter your stuff anymore. Mwaha. Oh, God. Channel. GG Channel. Channel's actually not very good in our deck, but Awakening Zone. Come on. One of my favorites of all time. Chandra. Old Chandra. Oh, that's cool. She's really strong. But yeah, I'm going to take the zone. Going to get in the old zone here. See if we can't make that work. Wow. That's a little awkward. Jalira. What can we Jalira into or out of? So we Jalira away Wall of Blossoms, and we can hit any number of awesome things. God, I want to try Jalira out. That seems great. But there's also Repeal, which is super solid, or Ulamog, which gives us like sort of inevitability down the line. I'm going for Jalira. New in the cube, got to try it out, right? I don't really want this many 4-drops, but we'll probably be able to cut some anyway. Feels like if you start activating Jalira, things just get stupid. Right? Like, I can't see, like, even sacking this for a Wall of Blossoms is fine. Like, obviously you wouldn't be happy, but you get this in the yard and like, wow, I can turn Awakening Zone tokens into real creatures? That's pretty sweet. Worn Power Stone. That should never come back here. That card's really powerful. You play that here, and then you untap and play this. Like, that's silly. Oh, man. Right? I can do that? Jalira, sack another creature. This makes creatures. Mwah! That seems sweet. Just cashing them in. Elixir Fire Spout is only the flying one, so no. And let's get this out of here. Yeah, take a Farseek. We're looking to ramp. Trike. Take it. Yes. Wow. We are running very well. Things are just coming back to us kind of left and right here. Vandal. Ooh, that's a good one to put in the cube. I like that. But we might actually cast Prophetic Bolt, so just in case, I'll take it. Not planning on splashing the red, but Prophetic Bolt is a charm. If we get, you know, like another 2 free mana sources or whatever, then we could do it. I wonder if Triskellion's good. Here's a battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it. Remove 1 to hit something. I mean, that is fantastic. And what do we get? Oh, baby. Some new stuff. Hornet Queen. Aetherling's obviously really solid. Mazavith is actually pretty good too against a lot of strategies. Kitchen Finks, I would run it all day. I want the big power though. Yeah, I want to put this thing away. I want to throw away one of these tokens to Jalira and hit Hornet Queen. We now have a mission. Also, I think we just want one more top end thing. Like, we've got all types of good stuff going on. All right, now we get Upheaval. Along with Remand, Wow. Even Overrun would be good in our deck. We can just get him with tokens. How do I pass an Upheaval? Probably I just don't. Right now, though, we've got Sphere and Worn Power Stone. We've got other ramps with Explore and Farseek, but they're not the kind that we actually want. But it does work. So basically the way it works with Upheaval is you cast it, everything goes back to everybody's hands, but you are ahead on mana and it's your main phase. So you float 3 or 4 mana and play something after and then say go. And then maybe even play a land and say go. And then they have to be like land go. And you get to hit them with your, you get to make a thing with Garrick or whatever. But the best ones also have mana where you can float a bunch of mana and then replay your mana. And then sometimes you don't do anything right away. But then the next turn, you just dump everything. Oh my God, these packs. Treachery, Solemn Simulacrum, Venser. I'm going to take Treachery. I think Treachery is one of the best cards one of the best cards in the whole cube. Not this pack, but the whole cube. And I'm going to take it here. But man, I hope we get something sweet back out of this pack. I'd love a Solemn. Venser's, that's my boy right there. I would take that back in a heartbeat. We may have gone a little too deep here, though. Let's see. Well, let's keep looking at what we got. All right, now there's a Thran Dynamo. That's interesting. The Trinket Mage doesn't get anything. Elder that's just so played out. I'm over you, Yavimaya Elder. I mean, you'll make the cut sometimes, but you bore me. Definitely just going to take Thran Dynamo here. Now that we have 3 premium pieces of ramp, that's that's a pretty big game. Wickerbow Elder. I feel like with Indrik Stomphowler and Trigon Predator, we're okay. Woodfall Primus is excellent, but we're probably okay on that too. Thassa is interesting. I don't know that we can actually get her to be a creature. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, these count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's possible. We need 3 permanents, probably 3 of our blue permanents, which isn't going to happen that often. I'm actually just going to take Misty Rainforest here. I'm going to take it over the treetop, but we do have some interesting mana requirements I'm a little concerned about. I want to make sure that we can protect that. Borderland Ranger seems pretty good in this deck. Survival seems pretty sweet too. Like we can search up different creatures, but man, it just feels like, I don't know, like Jalira is going to do that or whatever. I don't know that we need a whole nother card dedicated to it. Tidings is always great for card draw, but I think we got okay with that, didn't we? What would we get? Deep Analysis? Maybe not. Still, I'm going to take Borderland Ranger. I want to value out here. The only card that this deck would murder for is Opposition, but every deck I've drafted in the past year, it fits that same description, so it goes. Emrakul. Wait a minute, does that work? Non-legendary, right? Yeah, non-legendary creature, so that won't work. This works, but that won't work. In that case, we take Sylvan Library, which I think is absolutely excellent. Court of Calling, pretty good here too, though we're not really getting any big bombs, I don't think, that are like super game changers. I'd rather just have another cheap card to help us get to where we need to go as far as hitting our mana. What does this one do? Not. That's lame. Ooh, that's cool. No, not doing that. I think I actually just want Kozilek. Yeah, I'm just going to take a Kozilek here. I mean, we can certainly ramp into some pretty sweet stuff. Verdant Catacombs doesn't actually find what we need it to. Talrand is interesting, but we're already way too stacked up at 4. Like, I'm going to have to cut Obstinate. Like, there's way too much that I have to cut here, so that's not going to work. I think I just want Engineered Explosives. I'll leave it in the board, but against, like, the cheap aggro decks, we can play it for 2 and maybe take out 2 or 3 of their creatures with it, which is, well, that's its whole entire job. So we'll take EE. Probably cut a Farseek here. I like Explore still. Sylvan Library is great. I love that we have 3 artifact mana now as well. And this is a great one too for Upheaval. Probably going to have to cut the Soul, especially because we're just 2 colors. We're not exactly abusing it. I love both Garricks. They're also great mana rampers. Both of the control magics are fantastic. I love the card draw here. Time Warp. Do I have to let you go? Ooh, Remand? Yes. Wow. So Remand comes back. That's another slot that we're definitely... That is getting that slot. So probably Kozilek can go. Teferi you can go. Also legendary, so can't get hit with Jalira. I like both Garrix. I think they're both excellent. Life from the Loam, Genesis Hydra. I'll take the Hydra. Pretty lame to hit the Hydra with Jalira, though. We never found a target for Trinket Mage. Sure, we'll just take an Underground Sea or whatever. Oh! TTV? Yeah. I like Treetop Village. Curse Scroll's pretty good, too, in the right scenario, especially because we can't actually do direct damage. But this deck is going to be excellent at keeping its hand full. I don't think that we'll find ourselves empty-handed very often. I mean, Remand replaces itself, Explorer replaces itself, Sylvan Library keeps the cards flowing, even though it doesn't actually replace itself, but it can if you want to dump a bunch of mana into it, life into it. Wall of Blossoms replaces itself, so does Borderland Ranger. Wood Elves doesn't, but still, Deep Analysis 2 for 1 twice. 2 for 1 and then kind of a 2 for 0. So Dismiss replaces itself. Cryptic often does. Time Warp sort of does because you get to take the next turn and draw that card. So yeah, I'm not really worried about... I just wouldn't consider a card like Curse Scroll because of that. Wow. Last pick Emrakul. People are not doing this correctly. Maybe we should just run it and just cast it. We just play like Thran Dynamo, Worn Power Stone. No, it's still too expensive. All right, so this is 25. If I go like this, so what can we cut? We need to cut 2 more cards. They're all like my little children. I don't want to cut any of them. Deep Analysis is one I could consider cutting here for sure. Like I said, I don't think the card draw is really a big deal for our deck. And I would love to cut one more 4-drop. It might just be Dismiss. It's a little clunky. This might be the deck here. Yeah, I like that. You get to play Treetop also. Treetop does work. Okay, so we've got those. Is this still a dual land for us? No, it's not. Underground Sea isn't either. I like some of our sideboard options here as well. Like if we find ourselves in a grindy long game, we can bring in Deep Analysis and Dismiss and Teferi. If we find ourselves against an aggressive player, we bring in Obstinate Baloth, Engineered Explosives, and probably Triskelion. I mean, that thing does a lot of work and we can power it out pretty quickly. And then just like sack it or whatever. All right, so let's add some lands here. It looks like we're fairly evenly split. This thing says 7/7, and I think I'm going to agree with that. Yeah. And this gives us 7, 8, 9, 10, and 7, 8, 9. So, good. Okay. Yeah, this deck looks great. I can't wait. Let's see what it does.
If you'd like to exchange your Magic Online cards for event tickets while logged in on Magic Online, you can do so by trading MTGO Academy's official bot, Academy Buy Bot. You can find it in the Magic Online trading area or add it to your buddy list.
All right, all aboard the value train. Yeah, this looks like a keep to me. I mean, yeah, sometimes you run into mono red and they just run you over with a hand like this, but a lot of times you actually get to play Magic. Overgrown Tomb tapped. I accept. Yeah. Turn 5 Hornet Queen, I'm in for that. Time Warp. Yeah, just put the fear in him a little here. Keep him off balance. Keep him guessing. Cradle with no creatures. That doesn't make mana. Did anything happen here? Tap the cradle for nothing? Yeah, I think they forgot. That one doesn't actually make mana unless you've already got dudes. Ooh, nice rip. Ta-da! Your move. Now we can Treachery if you play something sweet here. We can just Thran Dynamo and ship. We can Time Warp to draw a card. Oh, Domri Raid. Domri Raid reveals nothing. No, reveals Raphellos. All right, so Raphellos is going to get killed by Garruk. I pledge that. Additionally, we could just steal Raphellos and make a billion mana, but I think we're actually okay on mana. So let's go Thran Dynamo. Garruk. Make a dude. And battle Domri. So this puts him in an awkward spot. We might actually just windmill Hornet Queen here too. Let's see if he whiffed. Okay. Whoop. Oh, it counts. This is awesome. So he's referring, of course, to the Patreon, which is like sort of the replacement for Kickstarter that I started. Ooh, Troll Aesthetic. Can he actually? Yes, he can. Awkward. So I have to throw away a wolf, but then I can Time Warp. I'll tell you about the Patreon in a minute. I'm trying to figure out what this turn looks like. This actually is not a bad spot for me. So I have a couple options. I can attack both the Domri Raid. He blocks a wolf, regenerates. Domri goes down to 3. Then I can play Time Warp, make a wolf, and then attack Domri down for 3. That actually kills Domri, right? So 3, and then this thing's tapped after what's it called? Regen, and then I can kill him. So yeah, let's do that. We can have time to take over the game later with our Hornet Queen and our Treachery, but I think getting Domri Raid off the table right now is probably the best line of play. Okay, you did it. Still doing it. So, make a beast, or not a beast, but a thing. 3, 4, 5, 2, 4. Yeah, none of this other works. And we will target ourselves. Oh, yeah. Oh. Awkward. All right, but still. Yeah, we're just going to play Hornet Queen here. Playing Hornet Queen just means that our Garruk is not under any real threat from Troll Aesthetic. Is this good? Haha. That's cute. This better be good. Oh, it is good. Oh, it's quite good, actually. And then he makes 100 mana with Cradle. Oh, wow. We got ourselves a slugfest here. Oh, man. Beast within my my Garruk. I guess that lets me play another Garruk here, though. So I think what I want to do is Treachery something. And then plus Garruk. And try to set up Overrun for next turn where he's got to make all types of bad attacks. So what do I take? Raphellos makes 3 mana. I could just take his Hornet Queen because it blocks insects or whatever. I mean, I guess they all block each other, but it's got the most toughness. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm doing this wrong, of course, though. free anyway. So no reason to use the Thran Dynamo, though. In this instance, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the question is, do I want to do any attacking here? No, I don't. Because all my creatures are just better if I get to overrun anyway. All right, so the Patreon, though, is a way to give back for the podcast limited resources. And I've been looking around for a way to facilitate this for a while and finally found it. And that guy was awesome. Does not matter what you give. Oh! Ulamog was his last card, so Garrick dies. All right, well, we got a real game on our hands here. I'm going to need to find something pretty quickly, though. Ulamog will take over the board. Currently, we're slightly ahead, not considering Ulamog. I don't think I care about this. No, I'm taking that. Stomp Howler, no target. So what happens if I just attack with everything here? He blocks and trades these. This thing gets eaten here. He takes some damage. Takes 5 or 6. We play Stomp Howler. He attacks. We sack lands. Yeah, this is a must, isn't it? I could destroy his own... this thing. It's an artifact because of that. But he doesn't have any actual targets. And we could really use the 4-power creature, so I'll probably have to do something stupid. But in the meantime, I definitely have attacks somewhere here. Maybe I just leave back the Wood Elves to block Ulamog. That'll save 10. Let's try that out. Obviously, we don't have the luxury of fussing around here. A couple of hits from Ulamog and we're dead because we can't come back. That's actually the biggest issue. Those are weird blocks. Not blocking with Ulamog. Just cashing in a bunch of insects. Okay. I can live with that. Maybe I just let the Thran Dynamo go here. Could draw something like a Cryptic Command. I'm just going to take it. Oh no, what did you draw? Oh, Secure Tribe-Elder, doesn't really matter. Aether Adept. So now Cradle makes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I Aether Adept Ulamog, he can just recast it. But it does buy me a turn. It does kill another one of my things, but my things are all pretty interchangeable at this point. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly lethal, but I'll have a blocker back. Yeah, okay. He's going to block and sack with the Elder. Got to sneak in as much damage as we can here. He's going to double block there. not take any from that, and he's going to take 5. Let's see. Might as well do that just in case. Okay, so we're getting 2 more creatures off the battlefield here. This could... We'll have to do a count, but maybe we make it so that he can't recast Ulamog here. I don't think we can, but we might be able to. The elf is going to be gone. That made 2 mana. He did regenerate. Goes down to 7. All right, so we bounce Ulamog, and he can make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can make 11. So he can do that pretty easy. Right? Raphelos makes 1, 2, 3 mana. Cradle makes 2 mana, so that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ugh, he can make exactly the amount he needs. He gets to blow something up, but I don't really see how we have a choice. Because if I bounce Raphelos, then he just kills us with this. So, got to hope that these insects get there. This also means he does not get to attack us, though. And we only need 2 turns to kill him with the insects. So we definitely have a puncher's chance here. Yeah, he can't attack. He drew a land, which means he actually could attack, but he doesn't have this up. So maybe he just kills our adept and hits us for 3. Maybe he kills an insect. I don't think it really matters. There's 2 turns in the air with the insects either way. Yeah, he's going to kill the adept so he can get in an attack with his ascetic here. Oh, no. Let's see. If he does that, he blocks here. He takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we realistically can't have anything. I think he should just attack with his ascetic here. Yeah, I like that attack. It's not like we're going to have a pump spell or whatever. Okay, so we go to 4 and draw an island, but we attack him here. We sack lands. We block Raphelos and Ulamog, and then we kill him. I mean, he has to draw, unless he draws something, of course. So we hit him for 4 and then 3. Block, block, take 2, or even block, block, and take 3. Wow, this is close. Yeah, this is just super close. Like, if he drew a land, we win. Let's see, what if he has a bolt? If he's got a shock, then we lose. If he has something that pings us, then blocking this could matter. So I guess we'll block that. It was a land. Yes. Eat it, Ulamog. We gotcha. All right, what do we want to do here, though? I don't know that we need to change much. Triskelion could be interesting. We did see kind of some elfy type things going on, but like it doesn't work well against his hexproof guy. And I don't think his hexproof guy is really great against us anyway. Let's just run it. You bet. If you guys want to get an invite to the clan, that's all you have to do. This is a very easy keep. We get a lot of mana ramp plus upheaval and even a mana leak to keep some things off our back, although not that one. Yeah, maybe that one. Domri raid. Revealing nothing. No lands out of the first 2 draws is a little concerning, but I think we'll be all right. Reveals nothing. So he's going to go for channel into Ulamog. Yeah, we just can't let him do it. Cannot let that happen. That's just a way we just immediately lose the game. Okay, so let's get this mana going. Could play a Trigon Predator, but I think our game plan is going to be draw a blue source and Upheaval like ASAP. Because Upheaval doesn't care about Domri Raid or what Domri Raid's up to or any of that. 2, 3, 4. We probably gamble. Let's see. No, I can go 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah, that works. All right, so let's do that. And then do I want to make a Garrick or do I want to make a wall? I think I want to make a Garrick. And let's just fight this thing. This should help prolong the game as long as possible. Uh-oh. Oh, he beast withined it? Oh, that's pretty good. Kind of glad that that's what he ended up doing with his turn, but... All right, so Garrick down. Sphere, so 3. We need blue, though. All right, so Sphere is key, but let's see if we can't even wall here. Explore. Yeah, we can still play the Sphere anyway. Ah, we got there. All right, so now Upheaval starts to look a lot better. And this gives him what? Trample, first strike, double strike, trample, hexproof, and haste, which doesn't really matter that much here. So let's play Sphere. And I don't think there's any downside to running out Aether Adept here either, right? Like, it's just going to come back to our hand, but we just save ourselves some damage or whatever. All right, so he's still ticking up with old Domri Raid as he's bricked every single time, it seems. Johnny. So he can lock down Thran Dynamo. Oh, good. He's just going to use up an ability. All right. Land? Awakening Zone. All right, so what can we do here? We can go Upheaval. So we've got 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana plus a land drop. So we've actually got 11 mana available. So if we Upheaval, we get everything back, we play a land, and we can play like a bunch of our Warm Power Stone, Thran Dynamo stuff, and maybe even get a creature on. But let's just figure it out when we do it, because we're doing it all anyway. So Upheaval. And we've got green, green, blue, so we probably need another blue mana source here. But what do we want to play? Like what do we want to have on the board at the end of this? Probably just a whole bunch of mana, I guess. Like having a Trigon Predator is fine, but it doesn't really like warp the game or whatever. So let's just make a bunch of mana. That would be 4. So if I do this and leave green, I can actually maybe the play is just real simple. Maybe it's just Thran Dynamo, Warm Power Stone, go. I don't really see any downside to that. We can untap and play Wall of Blossoms, Sphere, Awakening Zone, or whatever. Don't have quite enough to do. I've got 4 mana now. And I mean, I could do something. I could have done something like Wall of Blossom, Sphere of Suns, but I think just getting down Worn Power Stone is probably best. Okay. That seems fair to me. He's going to discard Ulamog, so he did have it. And now we just want some assertive stuff. You know, we want some Planeswalkers or whatever to sort of get back on the board as quickly as possible. You know, I think I just want to play a Wall of Blossoms here, actually. Let's just try to find... Like, Trigon Predator's fine, but it's just not really powering me out ahead as far as I want. I want to kind of start getting through the deck here. Zenith for an elf, sure. Now we need to get Trigon Predator down to start dealing with planeswalkers again. So let's get that thing down. And we've got enough mana here to make an Awakening Zone as well. Unfortunately, we've bricked off a little bit here and just hit a bunch of lands. We really just needed to hit like a big, you know, even like a Garruk or something like that. He gets to play a Johnny. Probably just kills the Predator here. Yeah, he's in a decent spot. Always, because we just need to draw stuff. Stomp Howler is a fine draw here. It will blow up one of our things, unfortunately, but that's the second time that's happened. But I think we just need need something big. So let's just kill this sphere, I think. Yeah, that makes the least mana. And now it can start pressuring a Johnny Vengeant here, or at least forcing some chumps or whatever. What is he doing? Doesn't untap? Well, yeah, but it's also not tapped yet. I'll probably still attack with it and just force a chump block if he doesn't have something sweet. Yep, Domri Raid. Still bricking. What does this guy want? Tell me what you want. All right, I know what I want. I want some big spells, something big and spicy here. Borderland Ranger, yeah. That wasn't really it. At least it has power and toughness, though. I think I'm more worried about Domri Raid at this point. So, chump block. And let's keep that good mana flowing here. What are you doing? Revealing? Found a Sakura Tribe Elder, so that's a really good one here. It gets him back ahead on mana, or not ahead, but back in the groove as far as mana goes, and also can chump block the Borderland Ranger, so that was a great draw. We need something here. Come on, power spell. Yes, 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 yes. That is awesome. So let's attack a Johnny. So the downside here, of course, is that Domri can fight and a Johnny can fight. So the Jalira surviving the turn chances are pretty low. But the good news is that means that our Stomp Howler, like if he plays a big creature and then fights, then that sucks. Like that's the big bummer out of this situation. Obviously, it doesn't really change anything. Like we're still just going to play Jalira, but the chances that we untap with Jalira are not high. Let's just put it that way. But if we get to start cashing in Eldrazi spawn, which is great. Manic Vandal. Yeah, so he probably just fights Manic Vandal and Jalira here and then keeps this thing locked down. I think that would probably be the play. No? Okay. Okay, interesting. That is not how I would have played that, but maybe he's got another creature to cast. Or maybe I just get to pressure planeswalkers here. I think any spell at this point would be good, right? Can't really think of a bad one. All right, so what do we want to do? We can send both at a Johnny and basically kill a Johnny. That's probably the best play. We're not killing Domri Raid anyway. So let's get a Johnny Vengeance off the table here. And that way we can keep attack. Oh, never mind. Beast Within. On your land. Wow, nice play. Still a chump block incoming though, so that's not going to get you completely out of the woods here, but we bricked. We are bricking over here, so you get to kind of take over now. Yeah, our lack of threats is really killing us here. I mean, we resolved a sweet upheaval, which got us out of a bad scenario, but we're just basically right back in it now. And this is going to be a fireball or whatever. Or a zenith? What are you getting? And we just have none of our counters or, we just too many lands here. Well, I guess that wasn't exactly a spectacular finish, but it's still pretty effective here. Yeah, we're just bricking. This is unfortunate. He can... Yeah. Wow, going to keep plussing. Finds Rafellos. Come on, spells. This is a metamorph. Copying. Oh, it was pulse? Pulsed away all the token. Well, I have sixed. So I guess I take it one extra damage here, but these tokens are shockingly irrelevant in this spot. I guess he just didn't want to get like Eldrazi or something. I think I would have just killed this, but... More lands! Boo! Keeping him in my hand now because it looks like he might actually get to ultimate a Johnny, in which case I don't think we can win. I also think that if he would have just ultimated Domri Raid, I don't think we could win much here either, though. Sure. And I'll throw one of these in there too because they're not doing anything. We've got plenty of mana. There we go. Now we're in business. Let's see if this does anything. This is where he finally ultimates Domri Raid. And I don't think we can beat that. The double strike means that like our insects don't really do what we need them to do. Ah. All right, now do this. How do you not? You still have 3 loyalty on him. There we go. All right, if he just attacks, I think I lose. I don't know if we have any outs. Don't think we do. Tell you what, though, I'm going to be punching up my the power level for the next game. All right, I'm not doing the math here, so I'm just going to And they all have double strike and trample anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I block. I guess I can take out a couple of 1/1s here, though. All right. What do we get? Treetop Village. Okay. So what can we do here to prevent ourselves from getting in that kind of stalemate? There's a lot of options. Triskelion does seem like a decent option, but so does Kozilek, to be honest. What about EE? I don't think that's really that great. But this has turned out a little bit more grindy than I thought it would. And I want something to go over the top, and I think I want Kozilek. I don't think he has many answers for a Kozilek on his side. Hornet Queen's pretty sweet too. I like having both of them. Where was this? Jeez, we could have used that last game. Just sift through all those stupid lands. We had plenty of life to play with. Kill that. Do we want something else even more powerful? Like, do we want deep analysis? It does feel like we've been able to reach a stage both games where we could just use a bunch of cards. Maybe we'll do that. All right. Upheaval, Borderland Ranger. Yes, this is a good hand. I like Sylvan Library a lot. It just helps get you what you need. And this guy doesn't seem to be able to put on too much pressure to really punish us, so that's nice too. So we can even draw a couple extra cards with it maybe. Zenith for an elf. Okay. Okay, so always yield to this. And I think I just always yes to this. Okay, so what do we want here? Probably just the Aether Adept. We want the Worn Power Stone, though, at some point, so we'll just play a Forest and Aether Adept that thing, I think. So we'll put this on top, put this on top, play a Forest, make some blue, make an Aether Adept, and just keep them off balance. Next turn, probably just going to be something like Treetop, like depending on what the next two cards are, but something like Treetop Village plus Borderland Ranger. Yep. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, there's a Hornet Queen. I like that. I like that a lot here. So if I play Borderland Ranger, then Hornet Queen can get shuffled away, and I don't want that. So I think what I want to do is put this on top and keep that in my hand for 4 life. Let's attack. And yeah, let's just go like that. Vandal. All right, that's good. For him, that's good, obviously. I'm not happy about it, which means it's good for him. All right, so we get a land and then get to look at the next two and then shuffle away something with Borderland Ranger here, so this seems good. Oh, Cryptic Command and Thran Dynamo? Wow. Maybe we'll just actually pay another 4 life to keep this. Yeah, because Thran Dynamo plus Upheaval is pretty nuts. And having Cryptic is we still a couple turns away from Cryptic here. So let's put that back on top. And use this turn to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and Borderland. Well, I guess we just shuffle it away then. Yeah, maybe we just shuffle away Cryptic at this point. And just go for Hornet Queen Upheaval. Okay. Go ahead and attack here. I think he's just going to take it because he wants the Guile's Cradle mana. Cradle mana. Okay, he's going to make another Vandal, blowing up Thran Dynamo. Yeah, that's fine. I think that him already having played that makes our Hornet Queen better. And we're actually fairly close to being able to play it. Like, we got 2 for 1 twice, but we're not dead here, which is pretty nice. Ooh, Nissa. Hornet Queen versus Nissa. I think Hornet Queen wins that fight, but I might be wrong. Treachery. Treachery seems good here. So does Explore. So let's put this on top. And then I think we put this on top and just Explore. 1, 2, and then that gives us land. 2, 3, 4. Actually, we can't really do much with that, can we? I mean, it gets us 1 card deeper, but we can't Treachery and do that, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, it might have been a mistake. Can certainly pressure Nissa here pretty well. Send both of these at Nissa. And then steal a forest next turn. Could also activate Treetop Village and send that at Nissa as well. All right, well, let's get the Explore out of the way because I think we need to do that either way. Draw our Treachery, play our land. Oh, wow, we're almost out of time, aren't we? All right. Looks like I'm going to have to talk a little less here. This deck's pretty tough to play, so. And then just ship the turn back here. I'm only going to take a big hit from Nissa to try to set up Hornet Queen and or Upheaval next turn. Okay. He's just got it all. We're going to have to hope that the Hornet Queen does the job here. Taking it. Okay, so Okay. So we're going to play Hornet Queen next turn and hope that that's enough. Looks like you might have drawn something pretty sweet here. Gonna attack? No. Just gonna say go. All right. Kozilek. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Not gonna trade these off. Ah. Do you have enough mana to protect something? No, you don't. So just going to blow up the world here? Is that going to leave you with the lands? Like, I think the lands are still going to be creatures, which is like super annoying. All right, it's going to try to save some stuff. Or maybe just pop the Oblivion Stone on my turn. Well, that would work pretty well. Might force me to just upheaval. I guess I just attacks him. And then one at Nissa. We take 5. Floating a bunch of mana. It's been a weird game. Oh, killing stuff. Okay. Well, the Treetop Village plan. Kind of has to have an answer right there. I mean, I guess there's Doomblades and stuff, but that's not going to do it. Should be game. Going ape on this guy. Yep. Do 2 to you. All right, we pulled that one out. That got weird. Man, that match was crazy. We got a little low on clock there as well, so I have to keep an eye on that. But I liked our sideboard plan of just going bigger. Like, it felt like we were going to be tussling for a lot of our permanents throughout the course of that, right? Like, he kept 2-for-1ing us and copying my stuff and whatever. And then it felt like we just needed some way to go over the top like he did with Ulamog. And I think the Kozilek was the right one because it both gave us more tools by drawing us cards and also just made a threat that just had to be dealt with. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next round.
Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any MTGOacademy.com page.
All right, second round. Fairly easy keep here. We've got kind of got everything we need. Ramp. We've got counterspell here, especially like if we draw a land, that'll be really nice because then we can explore into a land for sure. Exploring blind is kind of lame. Would probably be better off just playing a Sphere of the Suns in that case. But if we feel like, based on our opponent's turn 1 or turn 2 play, that we really need to just leave Remand up, then we have that option as well. That's not good. It doesn't matter that much, to be honest, but all right, so that's good. This is all coming around. Probably going to want that Baloth, just based on what we've seen. Oh, wow. This could get ugly. Those are two... The Lavamancer on its own is not a big deal against us, but holy smokes, Bob is. All right, so yeah, let's crack this. Let's get an island, and let's explore. Let's go on a little exploring mission here. All right, there we go. So now next turn, we get to play probably Sphere of the Suns with Remand up. And we'll just have to hope that he doesn't play something absurd here. On 3 mana, I mean, there's stuff he could play, like if he played, what's it called, the enchantment? Prevents us from gaining life and all that. That would be bad. Sulfuric Vortex is what I was thinking of. Oh, Lightning Mauler's pretty good here too. We do have a lot of ways to interact with these type of cards, but we're going to take a wallop here. And we're falling behind pretty quickly, so... Garrick making a beast. I think I'd rather just play the Sphere here. And keep more options open as far as next turn goes. I want to be able to Treachery something and play another spell, or I want to be able to Garrick, untap, and play another spell, or just rip off a Time Warp and kind of keep moving things forward for us. Oh, you bet. I don't like doing nothing this turn. It makes me unhappy. Oh, geez. Main deck, too? All right. Well, it looks like our Remand is probably going to get Red Elemental blasted at some point, but I'm actually just fine with that because we've got bigger fish to fry down here. Just going to pass a turn because he wants to leave up that red elemental blast. I like this draw a lot. Yeah, let's just play him. This should hold off basically all of his attacks. And I still really want to get that red elemental blast out of his hand. Searing Spear. See if he wants to let me have the card. He could also just let this happen and then keep the red elemental blast, which is better for him. But he doesn't know what we have. Like, I can just play green spells instead. All right, well, we're going to take 5 here and then die to a burn spell most likely. But if we don't, then we have Hornet Queen to save the day. Potentially. Yeah, I don't think we can win now because of this. Firebolt, and then kill us. All right. All right, so this is going to be easily our toughest matchup. So let's bring in the Baloth. Let's overhaul this deck here. I don't think we want to be upheavaling against a player playing these cards. I think we do want to Fairy. I think we do want Engineered. And we do want Triskelion. Okay, so what's bad against him? These are all fine. Sylvan Library is not great, but it'll probably do. I'll put it in the maybe pile. Adept Zone is fine. These creatures that have incidental value are all fine. Polymorphist is fragile, but probably still worth it. Garruk Wildspeaker's mediocre. Baloth is obviously fantastic. Hornet Queen still seems worth it to me as just our big ramp target. Maybe cut a remand here. Okay, hopefully this is a little bit more slimmed down version where we'll be playing first. And yes, we will keep this. Not that this is a great hand. It's just an okay hand. But it'll totally work for the purposes of we have a sequenced out series of plays here, like Obstinate Baloth to stabilize our board, and then Thran Dynamo into Hornet Queen to take over. So we'll see. Okay. Ooh, that's not bad either. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Just pick up a 3-drop to block and kind of put something down. I like that a lot. Okay, take some hits from the Marauders. May just chump block it. So the Borderland Ranger holds back the Lavamancer ostensibly here, and then probably just chump blocks the Marauders. I mean, I could keep it around to block further threats, but preventing 3 damage is a pretty big deal here. Keeping our life total high while we still have a Hornet Queen going is a big deal. It's just super, super important for our game plan. All right, so Lightning Mauler changes things not very much. Like, unless he's going to lightning bolt our Borderland Ranger, in which case we take a big hit of damage, but I got to say, I have to live with that. Like, we already got our card back off of it. All right, it's Magma Spray. Yeah, I just have to live with this, I think, because we get to play the Baloth, which should fully stabilize us. I don't mind his play here. It gets him in for a big hit of damage, but we came prepared. So this thing goes away, and it leaves him with just these two. And the Baloth is just, it's just kind of a 2-for-1 against him. Like, he just doesn't have a lot of great ways to get through. Like, he can throw the Mauler into it and then use a Lavamancer to finish it off. But, again, that's just sort of a situation where we live with that on our end. All right, so he's going to Searing Spear and then finish it off. Similar. It's basically 1.5 for 1, 2 for 1, however you want to look at it. But he has a Goblin. Well, I guess it already has haste anyway. That draw is fantastic for him. Unless, of course, he forgets to attack. All right. I guess we just say thank you that he forgot to attack there. That might have been the game. Depends. He only had one card left in his hand at that point. He's got 2 now. But we're going to be fully stable. I drew another land. We're flooding out a bit, obviously. We've got 1, 2, 3 spells here. Plus this thing, so 4 spells. Garrick. Wow, that's a good rip, too. So can we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 3. We have to do it like that. But getting a Hornet Queen down is a big deal. And then I think we use Garrick to fight the Lavamancer. I think that's the play. Because the Lavamancer is his best bet for getting in incidental damage that down the line. Yeah, he's probably just off of black mana here, and it's probably as simple as that. Okay, so he just ended up passing the turn back. We drew Aether Adept. So let's play Garrick. Ooh, I got an idea. Aether Adept, the Hornet Queen. Who's in for that? Guess I could have even done that this turn, though I think I want to make him deal with Garrick, but I suppose it makes more sense to get in an attack with the Hornet Queen first anyway. Probably just send in like these two. Also, if he has instant speed burn, this might prompt him to use it on something instead of the Hornet Queen. All right, so fight this. He doesn't have access to it right now, but he can like burn spell in response or whatever. Flame Javelin me. And is this just going to happen? Or is he actually going to redirect? No, he's not redirecting. All right, so he's trying to set himself up. He's going to Grim Lavamancer me. He's going to set himself up to draw a Lightning Bolt and kill us. Meaning that the pedal is now officially to the metal. I'm assuming this is going to hit me. Yeah. All right. So he's got 2 cards left, and I'm assuming he can draw any number of them to kill us. So we have to we have to be fast. We must be swift. So how much damage can we get in here? What is our best line of play? 2, 3, 4. Let's see. So we can hit for 6, 12, 18, and then an Aether Adept. Another thing we can do is play the Aether Adept on the Hornet Queen, like I said before, and then replay it next turn. But I don't know if that actually increases our clock or decreases it. It probably increases it by a turn. And makes it so that there's really no reasonable scenario where he can't kill us without a burn spell of some sort. And it has to be a 3-mana burn spell as well. All right, so this, and this, and then if he has one haste creature, the Aether Adept will take care of that. So let's attack there. Really wish we had a counter spell, but... And let's bounce the Hornet Queen. Don't burn me. We don't have a counter spell. Ooh, he just found black mana too. He's got Firebolt. Can't flash it back yet. So we have one turn to draw a counter spell or a way to gain some life. Fairy. Nope, that's not going to do it. There's no way for me to gain life here, right? I can't get back my Baloth. Yeah, we're just dead. Ugh, that's so annoying. Alright, well, let's attack with everything. Make him do it at least. Wait, I can sacrifice a creature. Is there something I could have got? Oh, don't tell me there's something I could have gotten. I'm going to look. I'm going to be so mad. Okay, there wasn't anything. But what should I get anyway? Wall of Blossoms? Oh, Wall of Blossoms. Draw Cryptic Command. Which I can't cast now. Draw Remand. Which I think I took out. Draw Mana Leak. All right, we found the line. Come on. If we draw Cryptic, then I just punted because I could have kept the mana up and just not attacked here or, you know, done something different. But I forgot about this. So we found it eventually, but I didn't plan it out right. So we'll see. If I draw Mana Leak, I think we win. We have Lethal in the air. And it's 5 to flash this thing back, which we can just leak. So come on, one time. Oh, boo. Maybe he'll get cute. There's really no reason to. We have Lethal in the air now. It's actually worse for us that way. Yep, you got it. All right, so we lost to the deck that we really didn't want to face, but we still have one more round to go.
Love playing Standard on Magic Online? Check out Academy's Standard Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds for Standard Singles.
All right, third round. Hopefully a little bit better matchup. That last one was close. He's got to have that burn spell, or we got to draw some type of a counter, but I think that matchup's just pretty tough for us in general. Let's see. So we're on the draw here. I think this is a keep. You know, if we brick on a land, we're dead, but otherwise we get to go Borderland, Ranger and then have Mana Leak up. And we've got some really powerful spells here with Treachery. Oh no, not again. That's not a good draw though. That's one of the worst draws, I think. Maybe come in handy later, but if we get under any pressure early here and start missing land drops, we could be in big trouble. All right, that's better. Obviously, an island would have been perfect because we could Mana Leak here, but as it stands, I'm not going to complain. I just really wanted to get that turn 3 Borderland Ranger. And our opponent seems to be doing nothing, which I can definitely live with. All right, now we're not missing a land drop. Maybe I just pass or play Trigon Predator. Yeah, let's go with Predator here. This gives us some insurance against some of the things that our opponent could do. And might even draw some removal, which might be fine with. Also just gets a blue card out of our hand. Chain Lightning. Yep. Man down. Treetop. All right, I think I just play Treetop and say go here, and then I have Mana Leak up for any big plays because he's clearly building up probably towards like Chandra or something along those lines. And we can Mana Leak that, and then if he doesn't do anything again, we can play Borderland Ranger plus have Mana Leak up next turn. Getting the Ranger down right now doesn't enable us an extra land drop and just doesn't do enough. Mox Diamond. Wow, something huge here. Master of the Feast. You got it. I like this. I think this works out okay for us. Like, I don't think I even need to Treachery it, really. Ranger. Seems to be playing around Mana Leak pretty effectively here. So I think I'm just going to go for Sphere of the Suns and just ship. I mean, yeah, I don't like not having Mana Leak up. It crimps what he can do even if he's aware of it. But he's on one card. Like, there's a decent chance that he's just out of gas anyway. And we're not going to be out of gas. We're going to be drawing a bunch of cards here. So let's trade some damage for cards and try to set up a big upheaval play. We can just go for the Time Warp this next turn. Oh, Remand. I like that. So let's attack. Interestingly, with Remand and Mana Leak, we could also just consider just firing off Treachery here on Master. Gosh, Treachery? Man, that's actually really good. Like, we go Treachery here, and then just play Time Warp. I guess that would give him an extra card already, though. But we get to 7 him and have 2 counterspells up. I don't think I can really turn that opportunity down. In fact, we can even 10 him. Zoop. So he gets a card. Oh, wow. So activate this thing, and then we can go... Yeah, we can play Garrick and untap. That seems fine. Let's just hit him for a bunch. Lightning Bolt our Treetop. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe I just make a beast, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to make a beast. I was going to give him a whole handful of stuff to try to deal with here. Actually, I was thinking about just untapping so I could have Remand up, but like he's got one turn here. Like we just get to beat him down really hard. He's got to come up with quite a bit this turn, including killing his own Master of the Feast at some point here. And we've still got Garrick. Like he's just got a lot to deal with. Worm Coil. Oh, that'll do it. And now we need to find some stuff. Aether Adept. Aether Adept would be just fine. Could Upheaval, but let's not. Let's just battle here, and these basically stay at parity while we find an answer. So let's play a library. Make a beast. This way, if he attacks, we go to 9, he goes to 12, and he takes 5. He takes more than 12, he takes 13. So he actually can't realistically attack here. I mean, unless he has really sweet follow-ups, but we've got a plan for those. And we don't need to find much. We can find our Control Magic or Aether Adept or something to get a blocker out of the way and just end the game as well. But I think we're ahead enough on board even before that Upheavaling isn't really that great for us. Chainer's Edict. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And he goes to 12. Yeah, I guess that's just another turn. Okay, sure. Countering whatever this is, yeah. I'm just going to mana leak it. All right, so if he attacks, he goes to 1. Kill Garrick? Yeah, that's fine. And we get to library here, so let's see if we can dig into something sweet. Flooded Grove, not it. Always yield, always yes. Hornet Queen. That counts. Jalira's sweet too, but let's put that on top. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly. All right. I'll take it. Why can't I attack with all my creatures? Is it because one of them's not mine? So every one of these is lethal currently. If he attacks, he goes back up to 7, but we've got plenty to kill him with. This is a good one, though. This completely changed it. It's one of the few cards I think that would get him even to a point where he got to draw some. Oh, he shouldn't have scooped. He gets to draw a card, right? I think you just attack and just draw the card. I mean, I guess he knows what's in his deck better than I do, but still, come on. Free cards, you don't turn those down. Obstinate Baloth, yes. We didn't see much, though. Kind of a weird deck. I'm not really sure exactly what to make of it. Guess I'll kill the Time Warp again. It's the most borderline of our plays. Of our cards, I mean. Okay, this looks like a keeper, I think. Our opponent didn't seem to be super aggressive. Had some pretty sweet stuff, but us with a turn 2 Sphere of the Suns into 2 of pretty powerful spells, potentially, could be good. All right, that's a nice one. So turn 2 Sphere of the Suns, turn 3 Garruk Relentless. That can do tons of work, especially if he's got any utility creatures, small stuff. And if he doesn't have anything, then Garruk gets to start just pumping out wolves, and that's great. All right, so he makes a Mox Diamond, but does not play a land. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ignore here. It's tempting to leave up Mana Leak, but if he's going to miss land drops, I think I just want to pounce. I'm not worried about 1 3-drop or 2-drop that he could play. I'm just going to get some beef going here. Here's Garruk, and then I'll protect that. With my counter spells. I feel like me just countering stuff that he does early without having really any board presence or any momentum going just isn't great. But if I get to make a wolf, and then if I get to Indrik Stomp Howler the Mox Diamond, I do not see how he can win this game. He needs Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning to kill Garruk immediately for starters. But then he's still behind the wolf, so this is a bad spot for our opponent. This is not a land. It does not replace a land. It does not count as a land in your deck. And I think he should have just played it as a mountain. Like, unless he just has like some sick black spells or something, this is not going to work out well. Forked Bolt, sure. All right, so let's make a wolf. Get an island, and our hand is basically unbeatable. Once this happens. Stomping indeed. And now we have Remand, Mana Leak, Baloth to just sit back and protect, and our opponent really can't do much. Maybe Balance could do something here. I don't think there's anything. Like Plains Balance, what does that do? Plains Balance leaves us with this, I think, still. Still, it would be pretty nasty. All right, we made a wolf. Trying to make this as quick as possible. Partially just because we want to shut the door, but also just because, like, it's no fun for our opponent, you know. And us dirtling around, you know, making more creatures or whatever's not cool. Okay, now can I attack with all my creatures? Yeah, there we go. Get in there, guys. I expect a concession here. But we can't get this far ahead with 2 counters and expect us to not do something else, but... Oh. Oh, of course, you bet. Geez, this guy. What a sweetheart. So what had happened there was when I made the wolf, I was waiting for a long time for the wolf to come off the stack, and I wasn't sure why. I'll admit I was perhaps a little cynical and thought that perhaps my opponent had gotten frustrated at their bad luck and left. That happens sometimes, and it's annoying, but whatever. I don't really let it bother me too much. But it looks like he was just typing. So, and turns out he's a super nice guy who took his bad luck very well, as you can see from his words there. And kudos to Drackling33, who is now, by the way, in the Limited Resources clan. Yay! And a great fit, I might add, as well, considering that he clearly is a level-headed and nice human being. Okay, so that's going to do it for this week. That was fun. Good old Cube. It's back. Probably do another one next week until we get Khans of Tarkir on Magic Online. And maybe I'll draft my deck, the blue-black one. Maybe I'll branch out a little and do some fun police mono-red. We'll have to see. But until then, if you guys want to send an email for feedback, it's lr@lrcast.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, Marshall_LR. We've started a Patreon for Limited Resources. You can find the link for that, along with everything else, including links to articles, more videos, all that kind of stuff, the podcast itself at lrcast.com. We'll see you next week, guys.